Today we're going to be tackling a question that often gets asked to me, especially recently when I've been doing a lot of videos around genre guides and how to research certain genres, things like that. This is a crucial skill. I'm becoming more and more convinced that this is the thing that sets apart the people making money from their books and the people that are not, because the people making money understand their readers really, really well, right? And the way we do this is by knowing what the readers want, and that comes in the form of tropes, genre conventions, etc. That said, we as a society don't necessarily like to see the exact same formulaic thing over and over again. Actually, that's not entirely true. Just look at shows like Law and Order, which are literally the same plot with every single thing. We do actually like sameness. But we also want a little bit of something new and inventive and fresh. So how can you work off of a template of something that you've identified? And I classify a template as any structure that you've developed based on observation of what readers like. How can you take that template and make it fresh? And I mean this in addition to simply you writing it, because your voice, what you bring to the table, is always going to add something that people have not seen before, even if you're writing practically the same story as someone else. But how can we take it even a little step further, but not too far? Because if we go too far, then we alienate the reader, and that's the quickest way to get a whole bunch of one-star reviews on your book, is to write something that promises one genre but ends up delivering something that was not what the reader expected or wanted. It's the easiest way to get a bunch of negative reviews. So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about how to do that and my process for starting a book like this. And in the future, we might actually take what I build in this video and actually go through it, the entire process of creating a book. So without further ado, let's talk about how to do this. First of all, I want to call your attention to these books that I've written called The Story Hacks. That's the name of the series. They are all available at no extra charge if you join my Story Hacker Gold group. You can see them in here. I've actually got 30 of them. They haven't all been uploaded into the group yet, but will be within just the next few days after I film this. They'll probably be up there by the time this video goes out. I've got 30 of them so far with the goal to hit 100. You can also buy these for $5 a piece on Amazon, but if you were to buy all of them, that'd be $500 from the 100 that I'm hoping to do, and you can get them at no extra cost inside the group. So just a little plug there. But this is the one in particular that we're going to use for our example today. It's How to Write a Vigilante Justice Crime Thriller. And this genre is essentially what you get in Jack Reacher is the quintessential example of the vigilante justice crime thriller. It's this like big, super competent dude who comes in. There's like some problem, some kind of corruption, some authority figure that has issues, and he kind of comes in with a sort of bulldozer attitude, fixes everything barely, but then kind of just goes off wandering back down the road at the end. And it's very episodic, right? Each thing stands on its own. There's very little of a through line. Some of these series can get massive. You can get into 20, 30, even more books in a series with one character, all having just isolated adventures here and there. And when I was going through this, I was finding it really engaging, but I am, of course, a fantasy writer. And I thought, well, it'd be really nice to create a series that's just vigilante justice crime thriller, but in a fantasy setting. And this, I've got 2 points to make here. The first point is that this is the quintessential way to make your books feel fresh. Have it be exactly like something that's already established and you know for sure readers love, but then add a little twist. Blake Snyder in his book Save the Cat called this The Same But Different. Readers want the same but different. So what you do is you give them something that is 90% something that they're familiar with, but then just add an additional something or other that makes it unique. The perfect example of this is actually Jim Butcher, who wrote the Dresden Files series. Before the Dresden Files, the idea of an urban fantasy genre didn't really exist. He sort of invented the genre. And this is how genres get invented, by the way, is somebody doing the same but different. We slowly get more and more granular, different types of genres this way. What he did is he essentially said, I'm going to write a hard-boiled detective novel, which has been a genre that's been around for a long time, but it's going to have magic in it. And he was the first one. I mean, he probably wasn't the first one to do this, but he was definitely the first one to popularize it, where he just created a hard-boiled detective novel with magic. And that became the urban fantasy genre. Now, today, the urban fantasy genre has evolved a little bit more, so it's usually a little bit more, there's usually more women main characters, and there's often a lot more romance and stuff like that in them these days, but there's still a really solid male-focused urban fantasy genre that still has that main trope of the hard-boiled detective combined with magic. And I was actually just reading another book recently called To Kill a Unicorn, and it was almost a blow-by-blow similar type book to the Dresden Files. Like, if you like the Dresden Files, you would absolutely adore this book. It perfectly targeted the reader. But the change in this case was that it involved Cthulhu and the whole like H.P. Lovecraft mythos as part of it. And that was the unique thing that kind of set it apart from just another Dresden Files knockoff. And it's a very successful book too, by the way. So that's the idea of taking an established genre and just adding something to it. So in the case of a vigilante justice crime thriller, the thing I'm going to add to it is just a little bit of fantasy. This is going to be a fantasy setting. I can do this because fantasy and science fiction are a little bit different from other genres. This is the second point I wanted to make, is that there's what I call structural genres and costume genres. A structural genre is a genre that kind of has to hit certain beats, and like the genre is part of the actual structure of the story. And so you get romance books like this, you get thrillers and mysteries, all kind of fall into this structural genre. But then you get certain genres that aren't actually really focused on the actual plot. They're more about the trappings around the plot. And this is why I call them costume genres, because they can be, you can have any number of structural genres that are given this costume, and fantasy and science fiction all work that way. That's why you can have a fantasy mystery, a fantasy romance, a fantasy thriller, like we're going to do here. There are some elements of science fiction and fantasy, certain subgenres that don't really work elsewhere. But the nice thing about fantasy is that you can really incorporate all kinds of different plots inside of just these fantasy settings. So that's what I'm hoping to do with this. I want to create a kind of serialized episodic series about a character who's a very like Jack Reacher type character, but in a fantasy setting, and give it that setting to make it fresh and unique. And I have a character that this really works for in one of my fantasy worlds, so I thought I would do this whole process for that. So let me show you a little bit of what that looks like, because we're still going to use templates. I actually really like templates, and if you use AI to help you in your writing, templates are going to be your godsend, because AI loves structure. So the more structure we can give AI, the better. Thankfully, if you are a part of my Story Hacker group, you get all of these different templates that are related to this particular genre. Now, these are also included in the book itself, but they're more conveniently sectioned out here for members and written in Markdown so that AI can understand it a little bit better. So, for instance, we go here to the trope doc, and like I said, it's written in Markdown, so you'll see some of that here. Where, okay, the main trope is the vigilante anti-hero, right? So that's a trope. Another trope is the corrupt or ineffective authority. Another major trope of this particular genre. Another trope is personal loss as motivation. So these are the kind of things that we're putting in here that now we just need to adapt it to work in more of a fantasy setting, because a lot of the language around this template is going to be all about like a modern setting, right? So the way I did this is I took this into, I just used Open Router because I could, but you can do this in any chatbot really. And I picked my model. In this case, I used Claude Sonnet 4.5, and in the system prompt, I wrote, "You are a world-class genre expert. I want you to take the documents I will give you, which are templates for writing vigilante justice crime thrillers, and tweak them so that they could apply to a genre with the same tropes and structure of the crime thriller, but in a traditional fantasy setting, not a modern day setting." That was my my system prompt there. And then I just pasted in that tropes doc, as you can see here. And it's a long document here. And then it spit out what is almost the exact same thing, but they added just a few word changes here and there just to make it a little bit more conducive to a fantasy setting, especially like an older medieval fantasy setting. So for instance, here, this line here says, "You have to establish early on that the official systems, the police, the courts, the government, are barriers to justice, not facilitators of it." In this version, it says something slightly different. You have to establish early on that the official systems, the city watch, the courts, the nobility, are barriers to justice, not facilitators of it. So just little tweaks like that that kind of make it make more sense for the fantasy genre. And this is what I would do. I would take your templates of the genre that's the primary genre that you're trying to hit, and then ask AI to tweak your templates so that they can apply to whatever change you're making to it, whatever fresh ingredient you're adding to this. And I would just do that with all of your templates that you have, assuming you even have templates. If you don't have templates, you can get some. It can be as easy as just asking AI for a list of tropes for a certain genre, and then you adapt it from there, or, you know, whatever it looks like. I've created these templates from a rigorous analysis of actual bestsellers in the genre, where I actually broke each one down chapter by chapter and then compared all of the tropes that each one had, which remarkably, a lot of these books really had a ton of similarities between all of them. Even though they're all bestsellers, they're all doing them quite well, they're all very different from each other, different authors. It's remarkable how many similarities these things have when you correctly target the right books. So you can create those templates however you want, but then just modify them this way. And then what I do is I take it into a sort of AI project of some kind. This could be Perplexity Spaces, which is what I would have used, but there's been some controversy with Perplexity's terms of service lately, so I didn't use it in this case. And what I did in this case is I actually went to Notebook LM. And as you can see here, I created a Notebook LM, and I brought in all of those different modified documents for this vigilante justice fantasy thriller. And then I also brought in a document with a bunch of world building from the world that this book should take place in, and started brainstorming. I just said, I want to brainstorm a fantasy setting for this vigilante crime thriller genre. My main character is named Cole, and I don't have the last name for him, so you can brainstorm that. He's either an assassin or a mercenary or someone with a high set of skills in combat and other things. He should be a morally gray character, and the series should involve him doing a lot of really cool things in this fantasy setting. Please help me brainstorm what the first book should be about. And we went back and forth quite a lot. I was giving it a whole lot of feedback. I asked it to ask me questions, which is a great way to brainstorm, by the way. You get it to ask you the questions, and then you can kind of just go back and forth until you have some really solid things. And because it has all of your templates here, it's going to make sure that we are touching on all of the right tropes and character archetypes, all of these puzzle pieces that we need to know in this entire process. So I just kind of kept going back and forth until finally at the end, I asked it to summarize everything that we talked about into one document, especially for the world building and everything. And it created this sort of mini series Bible that I just then copied and pasted into a different document which I will use to create my story dossier. And I'll do that in a future video. But what this process allowed me to do is essentially brainstorm a really tight, cohesive novel ideas and put them together, and with the knowledge that they hit all of the tropes, they hit all of the archetypes, the plot follows a particular structure that's typical of this genre. And now the only thing I've done is I've added my own story and my own unique element, which in this case is just a fantasy setting. So I'm actually really excited for this particular book series. I think anything that's episodic like this has really great potential to go on and on and on. And so I have the full intention right now, at least, to actually go through the whole process of creating this book with AI, fixing it up myself, editing it, making it my own, and then publishing it, and so you guys can read it if you want to. So that's something I have in the works. We'll see how it goes, but this is the first step, is to figure out how are we, like, what's the genre that we're targeting and how can we make it a little bit unique. The next step will be creating the story dossier, which I'll do in a updated and newly improved automation that I've recently put together that you'll see in a future video. So I will see you then.